Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our webinar. We are going to try to have these as regularly as possible. I am Amanda Roberts. I'm out in Georgia, and I'm a gold with the Power Leaders. And then we have Robbie on the line. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Robbie.
I'm Robbie Walton, and I'm a Silver Wellness Advocate with doTERRA, located in Southern California.
Awesome. So we're really excited to be on the line today and to share with you some tips and knowledge that we have acquired while we have been working with doTERRA. And we want to share that with you so that hopefully you can find some value in it and move forward in your business. So today we're going to be talking about how to have a successful event with doTERRA essential oils. And particularly today we will be talking about a class with doTERRA. So we're going to move on here. There are 3 different types of events that we normally will be hosting to introduce people to our doTERRA products. The one is a class setting, and most of you have been to or attended one of these. It would be where you would get a handout of a particular class, and there would be one speaker going through that class at a home or a location, like a restaurant or a library. So this is what we're going to talk about today, class setting, so that you have multiple people all there to listen to one speaker. Okay, so we're going to move on here. Why are we going to do a class? Okay, because there's a couple different ways to do this, but why a class? So Robbie, do you want to talk a little bit about why we do classes?
Yeah, our main reason to host a class is, well, my main reason is to get new contacts to hear about the products, but the other reasons are to educate new people. So if you have people who just enrolled and they're still learning and you have a class scheduled, you definitely want to invite those people who just enrolled, because they're going to hear things about 10 times before they go, oh, that's right, that's how you use that. And
Right.
I remember in the beginning when I went to classes, I would go continually and I would learn and pick up new stuff. It's a good opportunity for other wellness advocates to bring new people and like I said before, new contacts.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's the thing. We always say, you know, people may have already enrolled. Don't stop inviting them to classes. Let them continue to come, because every time you come to a class, you're going to learn something new. So even though someone's already enrolled and they have their product in their home, if they don't know how to use the product, then they won't be using them, and then you won't have a return customer. They will have purchased one kit and not have been using it. So we want to continue to invite them to come to classes to learn more. And then what does that also do? It also actually creates that duplication, because they've seen the class so many times that they actually say, you'll hear them say, I could do this. So,
I had people say, oh, what kind of class are you going to have? And I say, an intro class. And they go, really? I said, yes. I go, when you're tired of going to my intro classes, then that means you're ready to host a class, or you're ready to teach a class. So,
right,
anyway.
right, exactly. And we hear it all the time where they say, oh, another intro class, but how many times do you go to those intro classes and hear something new, someone new testimony, they use the oil a different way that you didn't know about. So it's always great to keep going to classes, always continue your education, and then also do that, pass that along to your new enrollments. All right, so those are the reasons why we do these classes. And another reason I want to mention too, when we do these classes, is when you have more than one person there, it actually solidifies the fact that these work. It's not just you telling this one person that this works for you. There is usually a number of people there that have all had an oil experience who want to show their testimony, and it kind of gives them an idea that this is more than just my friend telling me these things work. It's other people that they don't even know who are experiencing benefits with these oils. So that's another reason why when we get more than one person in a group, it helps validate the benefits. All right. So, Robbie, how to have a successful class. Now we know we want to have a class because of all these great benefits. How are we going to do that?
Well, you know, since my classes are always very successful, LOL, my first thing is when I'm planning for a class, I want to figure out I look at my calendar and I look at my situation and I go, okay, it's going to be a home class or it's going to be a public event like a restaurant. We use Pizza Factory here in Phelan a lot. We have regular classes there. I do classes from my home, and I also have had classes at different public events, community centers. I've had people talk about having them at churches. You know, there's a very, very diverse area. You have to just search your area and see what works best for you. But
Sure.
typically, you might want to start at your home. It seems like the easiest. So plan for your location.
Right, definitely. And sometimes you can reach out to the community centers because you don't want to spend a fortune for your first class. Your home is wonderful. And I always tell people, even if nobody shows, then guess what? Cook dinner. So it's not a big to do, and sometimes you'll get to a restaurant and you'll have everything set up and maybe 1 or 2 people will show up. So it happens. It's happened to all of us. Don't let it get you discouraged. Continue, move forward. Use that 1 or 2 people that did show up to your event and educate them. So don't ever let that get you discouraged. But yes, definitely planning ahead, finding a location. I always say start with your home or a friend's home, and then we'll move into businesses and restaurants where you can actually get a bigger amount of people to come. So definitely planning. So that's a great tip. The next tip we have is going to be inviting. Okay, so when we're inviting, so we've planned our location, now we want to tell people about this class. Make flyers, okay, even if you do a little postcard size flyer, make those flyers and hand them out. You can find templates on your Word document, or you can use the invitations. Yep.
Files and some of our Facebook pages, they have class files.
Yeah, and you can just use those. So you don't have to be an artsy person or know how to use the computer and be a computer whiz to do this. They also have invitations in the Class in a Box. And Class in a Box, if you don't know, is a valuable tool. It comes with a lot of different things, and we'll have another webinar about Class in the Box. But get the invitations from Class in the Box, or you can actually order them from Aroma Tools. Hand out those flyers during the day. Just keep them on your person all day long, whether you're going into a restaurant or you're going in to drop your kids off at school or whatever it is. Keep them with you because you never know when you're going to run into someone. Post them on bulletin boards. Find businesses that have those bulletin boards, or where you can put your business cards. That's why maybe not an 8x10, but something smaller. Share them with your neighbors, your hairdresser, your massage therapist, your doctor even. Don't be discouraged because you think this person has a PhD. They might need these oils too, okay? So just share them with everybody. And then when you pass them out, maybe keep a mental note or write it down and follow up with those people that you did touch base with or you handed a flyer to. And then the day before or 4 hours prior to the event, go ahead and send them a text message. So you're not bothering them with a phone call, but text them and they may respond, shoot, I can't make it, but keep me posted on the next one. Or they may say, I'll be there. What do you need me to bring? So just text them about 4 hours prior to the event, and just you really want to follow through so that you remind them about your class, okay?
I want to add something to the Class in the Box, just real quick. The little flyers in the Class in the Box actually have an area where you can put an address in, and you can actually drop that in the mail to people and make a note of who you sent them to so that you can follow up with those people that you might have mailed it. And you want to do that ahead of time because it's like a wedding invitation or a birthday invitation. People have to schedule it into their classes. But sometimes when they receive something in the mail, I don't know, it has a little more weight.
Right.
I don't know, that's my thought.
Yeah, like you were thinking about them, which you are.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And they can put that right there on their refrigerator. So I like giving them something rather than, sometimes we'll text an invite, but they can't put that in the refrigerator or have it as a visual reminder unless they're texting you all the time. But yeah, I think having that solid flyer, that piece of paper that they can put on their desk or their refrigerator, it's always a good thing. And then mailing them obviously makes them think, oh wow, this person really took the time to, stamp this, address it, and put it in the mailbox. So I think that's a great tip. All right. Okay, so go ahead, Robbie. I'm going to let you take this slide.
Okay. So hosting a class. is not as scary as you might think. To be the hostess, all the hostess really needs to provide, what we try to do every class in our home is have some sliced up apples where we put a few drops of On Guard in some water and sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on the top. What a great little snack. Simple, cheap. I mean, you can do that. You can have that and some water, and that's it. That's really all you need. Some people do real crazy. On my first class, I had hot meal soup. I had all this stuff, and I was thinking, who's going to ever be able to duplicate this? So I scaled it down, and now I have like hummus, crackers, and the the apples. So there's also some recipes that you can find on the doTERRA blog where they use the oils and different things. You want to have adequate seating. Some people go, oh, I just can't, maybe they've come to a class in a restaurant and they see that you need tables to sit at. I say, no, just your couch, a couple chairs, absolutely fine. You just want to have places that people can sit. I remember one time I had people sitting on the floor. I mean, that's just, it's in a home, it's a casual environment. Your house has probably been vacuumed, so it's probably good. You want to have pens available. I have scratch paper out. I have some books that people can use. The Modern Essential books work really well for people to use as a thing, that surface to write on when they take their notes. And that way you can go back and refer to the Modern Essential book. So have some raffle gifts. Usually if I go to a person's house and I am doing the class, I provide the raffle gifts. If the hostess has hosted 5, 10 classes, they might be doing their own raffle gifts. So you don't need a big, elaborate thing. What I raffle off sometimes, I'll raffle off toothpaste samples. doTERRA sells those now. Those are really great. You can do deep blue samples. You can have a little roller ball that you make up like a flu bomb. Real nice. I also do a Zytoscan. For those of you who have a Zytoscan and you're doing classes, a Zytoscan is a great, it's a great hostess gift. People love getting that. AromaTouch session, that's a great drawing. It's like the grand prize drawing. And if anybody you don't know what the AromaTouch is, you got to find out. That is amazing. They're going to have an AromaTouch certification coming up, and I really urge you, if you aren't skilled at that, to go to that class and do that. The host, we also need to have tear sheets. That's a really great thing to get comfortable with, using tear sheets. I personally use the Edge Team tear sheets, and I follow that along, and to me that's one of the most brilliant things that they've come up with. And make sure you have a sign-in sheet for you to get their information. And what I do is I make sure that I look at it and make sure I can read their email address. Very important.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and those are all things that, so say when we ask someone, would you like to host a class, this screen that we're looking at would be what we're asking you to provide for us. So we're not yet asking you to teach the class. This would be a part where we would come in, the wellness leader would come in and actually teach the class. So if we're just asking you to host, then this is what you'd be providing. So, and again, the raffle gifts, get with your upline and whoever's teaching your class and go over who's going to be providing all of those things. But to have a class, these are some items that we would typically need to be able to teach a successful class. All right, so we're going to move on, and those are some great tips, Robbie. Thank you. All right. Woo, we don't want to be here. Let's see if we can move forward to, sorry guys.
You see, booth is going to be a really exciting one when we do booth.
Yeah, we're going to talk about having those booths where you can do farmer markets. Ah. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Learning with us. Okay.
Okay, so let's just talk about
we're going to skip the slide. And we're going to talk about how, okay. You start talking, Robbie. I'm going to see if I can find this slide. I know it's there.
Okay, so basically what we've put together, what you're looking at is a PowerPoint that is how to host an event. And, you know, we're working on the booth portion too, but the class to me is, you know, and Amanda, we're both what we wanted to focus on today. So as you can see, we will have a booth and a one-on-one discussion in the future. But so basically, we're just going to talk about a class. So if Amanda wants to go back to like the host scene, the host one, we can do that. And then actually, let's just leave it there.
We'll go here. Okay. So once we have a host and a class and a location and we've invited people and people are actually shown up, first, my biggest tip, make them feel welcome. Introduce yourself even if you don't know who this person is. I would introduce yourself, and then obviously we're going to be talking a little bit about your own story. So as you're starting the class, and Robbie, just interject whenever you've got something, because I know you have a lot of great tips too. But as I start the class, the first 5 minutes, the first thing that I want the host to do for me is to edify me, okay? Because these are usually going to be their friends, people that I don't know, I haven't met yet. And so I really love when I can get a really great edification. It lets the listeners or the attendees know why I'm there and why they should listen to me at all. So when your host knows a little bit about you, first you're going to want to let your host know a few things if they don't already know about you, who you are.
I like to say, I don't mean to interrupt, Nana,
no.
but I like to say a quick edification, but you want to touch on their skill and knowledge, because like if I was to introduce Amanda, thank you for coming out. I want to introduce our speaker today, Amanda Roberts. Amanda is a certified licensed massage therapist who is also a gold wellness advocate with doTERRA. Amanda has been doing massage for 12 years, and she recently, within the last couple of years, started teaching and growing her doTERRA business, and she has a lot of insight. So something like that is what I would say. You want to make sure that they understand this person has credibility.
Right.
To you.
Yep, and that's exactly it. You want to give your speakers some credibility, and maybe not everybody is a massage therapist or has been doing this for many years, but even if, say, your speaker has only been teaching doTERRA for the last 3 months, you can come in and just say they have been experiencing some great benefits with these essential oils, and they're excited to share them with you. Something as simple as that, just introducing them, and it kind of just gives that bit of
professionalism.
Yeah, exactly.
Professionalism.
Very, yeah, and a great introduction to the speaker. So then the speaker will come in, and the best thing to do as a speaker, edify that person right back. Okay, so you want to say thank you so much, Robbie, for introducing me and hosting this beautiful class here at your wonderful home. And Robbie has been using the oils for however many months, and she's seen some great benefits, and now she's excited to share them with you guys, which is why she's invited you here to listen to my story today. So just edifying really quickly right back to the person who introduced you is a great tool. It shows professionalism. It really does.
Yeah, and it just is a reminder for us as the speaker, that person is taking time out, and they're so excited to share with their family and their friends that that's right. I want to make sure that I recognize them as well.
Right. Well, and for their friends to know that this person has put some energy into learning about these products as well, and so that they feel like they can go to their friend and get some information as well. So I don't want them to feel like, my friend doesn't know everything, I should just come to this upline and talk to her. We want to edify the host back to their own contacts so that they feel like this person knows something. So once you've done the introduction and the edification, use the tear sheet. Okay, so first tell a little bit about you and how you were introduced to doTERRA. I was introduced with Deep Blue. It wasn't even an oil. How it helped me. So really briefly, 1 or 2 minutes briefly explain how you were introduced and your basic testimony, what got you started basically. So just, and I would practice this. I don't care if it's in the bathroom mirror, practice your story so that you
I had it last night. I had a class, and I decided to actually go back to that first class that I ever went to and remember how I felt when I was introduced.
Right.
And that was so real to me when I explained it. How, I didn't know that there were such things as essential oils for medicinal things. And that was how I started my introduction last night when I decided to start my class.
Oh, yeah.
And I could see on people's faces that they felt the same way I did. I went to this class knowing that, I thought I knew everything I did about health. I research. I'm friends with Dr. McCullough on Facebook. I have all this knowledge, but yet I did not know that there was such a thing as essential oil. So I feel that it's almost, you want to be so real and genuine. You don't want to try to be like, I don't want to try to be like Amanda. Amanda doesn't want to try to be like Katie Glasgow. You want to be your experience.
Right. Yes. And just being real and honest with people, I think it affects them more than we know. So I try to as well. I don't want to be this, know-it-all guru, because 2 years ago I wasn't. 2 years ago I was sitting in their place, and so I want to really be able to connect with them like I know where you're coming from. I know how you're probably thinking right now because I was there. So yeah, definitely. Just be real, tell your story, and understand that I never try to come in and go, I can't believe you've never heard of essential oils. Are you kidding me? Like, no, you don't want to come off that way. You want to come off like I was there 2 years ago. I was sitting right where you were. So so yeah, just being real and brief. Yes, exactly, because we want we want to get the information into their hands, the oils into their hands, and then the enrollment form into their hands. So we want to do this quickly and without spending 5 hours. Okay. Normally, I plan a class and I'll tell people, well, how long is it? I say, well, it usually sits about 2 hours. That's with introduction to you walking out the door. Sometimes they can linger. Depends on how many people ask how many questions. So it just depends every class, but I usually plan it around 2 hours. So if you're planning an event at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, expect that they're going to be starving by 1 o'clock. Yes. So then the next step, once we have done the edification, we've told our story, we're going to literally read the bullet points off of the tear sheet verbatim. So start with, and if you're using the Edge Natural Solutions for your home, that's a great introduction. You can, even if you only have, let's just say, you only have peppermint, lavender, and lemon, you can do a class with those 3 bottles. So it just depends on what you have and what class you're teaching, but read verbatim off of that tear sheet. Everything that they need to know is on the tear sheet. Of course, there's a ton more information we want them to know, but just the basics. You don't want to overwhelm them. You don't want them to walk out with their head, aching from so much information. So we'll try to keep it as brief as possible. And if you stick to the tear sheet, you're looking at wonderful information that doesn't overwhelm them. And then the key thing is passing that bottle. So once you read your few bullet points, open your peppermint bottle, show them, demonstrate to them how you want them to use it. I prefer use 1 drop, pass the bottle, rub it together in your hands, breathe it in. I stress keeping it away from their eyes. I even will say, everyone, make eye contact with me. We're not going to put the peppermint near our eyes, are we? Because otherwise, you've said it and sometimes it just doesn't stick. So anyhow, that's great. Once you get the oils in their hands, the oils are the salespeople. We don't have to be a salesperson. The oils sell themselves. Okay, so reading off that tear sheet, going straight down that tear sheet. Robbie, is that how you do it too?
Yes, I do. I throw in a few stories because, like Rod and Seth say, facts tell, but stories sell. So you want to make sure you have a few pertinent stories that would work, like lavender and something that you've had results with, or frankincense or things like that. So a couple stories in there. Don't overwhelm people with stories. That's the worst thing I've seen. 50 stories later, everybody's looking at their watches going, huh, kind of like our webinar here. But anyways, but yeah, stories are great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go by the tear sheet myself.
Yeah. So your few bullet points, the oil experience, a testimony. Someone in the audience may even have a testimony. And this has happened, and I try to let them know very honestly, but without being, with tact, I guess is the word. If someone's like, well, what about this? I'm going to get to that. Don't let the audience drive your class. You're driving it, so just stay in control. A lot of people, this happens a lot of times where they try to pull off, well, I'm curious about this. Well, we're going to get to that. Or write that question down, and we will get to it at the end. If I don't, see me one-on-one. So sometimes you just have to take control of your class. If you're teaching, make sure you have the wheel. Okay, so after we've gone through that, now we're going to, and I don't even like to, so you've taught the whole class, you've done your testimonies, we're going to talk about our number one product, which is the vitamins, and then you're going to show them how they want to bring this into their home, okay? And I don't like calling it closing the class. I like calling it opening the opportunity, because we don't want to, and I even tell them, I don't want to be an Avon lady. I don't want to sell this to you. I want you to be able to go to Costco and shop for yourself, and that's basically what we're inviting them to do. Is that about what you do, Robbie, too?
Yeah, I like to explain the opportunity of how it's blessed me. You know, I go through, I try to explain briefly the loyalty rewards. And, well, first I talk about the wholesale account. And I explain the 25% savings, and then I say, and sometimes people like to get their products for free. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. So then I segue into, after the wholesale account, I go into the loyalty rewards.
Right.
So I try to build a lot of value in the wholesale account. And really, let's just face it, it's $35 your first year, and it's practically free your second year. Right. I mean, where else can you go to get something that great? Right. I don't know it.
Well, and then introducing the kit sheet. Okay, so if you get that Edge Team Success system, you get 50 tear sheets of the kit options, and those kits are amazing. The ones that they have created, I love that they revamped the Home Essentials, and it offers that pedal diffuser. So now I found this tip from Katie Glasgow and Rod and Seth. They also teach it this way. Start where we always would say, I'm nervous to even show that to someone. Start with that sticker shock. Get the diamond kit out of the way. Start there.
It's the best value they have.
And that's how we start it. We say, this, I have to show you this, and this may not be in your budget. I just want to let you know that the best value is right here with the diamond kit. So go over a few brief benefits there, which you're saving, I think it's $750. You get, however many points. I mean, just all of the benefits of the diamond kit.
It puts you at the 25% earning.
Right.
They did the math on that, and that's around $1,100 of savings. So if you take $1,100 and $730, you almost bought the kit.
Right. Yeah.
And you get 400 product credits. Seriously, you just bought the kit right there.
Yeah.
That's a $2,400 savings. So, I mean, it really is. And if you know that, and if you feel that in your heart, that kit, that you will be able to convey the value of that kit without feeling ashamed to share that with them.
No. And even if, so maybe someone's not looking at it as a business right now, but you can say, if this was something that you saw that could be a possibility for you for a business, you will kick yourself in the rear if you don't even look at this option. Because what other company can you invest $2,400, $2,500 and get all of this product plus earning all of these points? So it is an amazing kit, and if you can hype it that way and really show them the benefits rather than I'm trying to sell you $2,500 worth of product, show it in a different light.
I don't know if anybody's actually ever looked at what all is in that kit. That kit literally has so much stuff beyond every product that doTERRA carries.
Yeah.
But it has documents, paperwork, it has all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So it's a great kit.
Yeah, that is the best kit, and you know, I kick myself for not being able to start there, but and be honest with people, even if you didn't start there, maybe just mention how you started, and you know, if you could go back and change things. I do that all the time. I say, gosh, if I had known then what I know now, I would have started with the diamond kit. So then move on to the every oil kit. Maybe they're not interested in all the wellness products. Maybe they're just interested in the oils. Here is a way that you can have the entire line of oils and a wonderful case with saving all this amount. Then flip it over and show the more affordable kits. The Natural Solutions kit, which is the #1 kit that we actually offer, sells the most, has a little bit of everything. So that is great. Now, if you don't have those tear sheets, the kit options is actually available online, virtual. So if you wanted to share with someone who is in a different state than you, you can actually email them that link and they can review those products themselves. So that's
also download everything on doterratools.com.
Yes, definitely. So we have so many different resources. Please utilize them. So once you've offered the kits that show them the value of saving the $35, the potential of earning more back on your loyalty rewards quickly, show them all those potentials, then introduce them to, or even just mention, you know, everybody starts their own way. The right thing to do is take the step. Take that step, that leap of faith, and go ahead and enroll as a member. This is how, you know, you want to just invite them into becoming a member with us. Let them know that there's so much support out there, because there really is. And I hear it all the time. People who have done different MLMs, I've never. So I don't know the difference. All I know is doTERRA. And I hear it all the time from different people. My gosh, I did this and this and this and never had any support. So the awesome support that we get from even corporate, and then your uplines, it's amazing all the support that we get in this business. So even if you're not doing it as a business and you're just trying to share with others, there's so much support and knowledge and research. And they just, at convention, said that they were going to multiply the amount of research and development funding 10 times. So if that's the thing that triggers you and you're excited about, that's awesome, because just think about what we're going to do in 2015 with 10 times the amount of funding for research. All right, so I know we've gone over a half an hour with this class. Robbie, do you have anything else that you want to, any other tips that you have?
Well, I just want to make sure that people understand that when you talk about something like the loyalty rewards order, you want to make sure you have your verbiage down and that you know about it. So, you know, it's hard to teach a concept that you don't really understand.
Right.
So familiarize, anyway.
We got it.
Get familiar with the loyalty rewards order and what it can do for you, and that way you can share that with others.
Yes, definitely. And that's the same thing. The same thing goes with your oils. Know your product. Know your company. Know why you're doing it. If you have your why as to why you're with this company, why you're using that product, and why you're sharing, and why the loyalty rewards, know all of these things so that you can actually branch off and share that with others. That's definitely a huge tip. Educate. Continue to educate yourself. And there are so many tools to do that. All right. Well, I really appreciate everyone joining us for this webinar. I hope that you found some advice or some tips that would be useful for you and your business. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to stop recording, and we'll see you the next time.
Join us on our next webinar.
Yes, we'll keep everyone up to date on when we're going to do this again. We're going to try to shorten them down to just a half an hour. But thank you all for joining us, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.